That shit was fucking tripping, eh? What's cracking? What's cracking? Raider Nation, man, chilling. Shit was fucking tripping. The hell, dude? Jeez, getting real quick. Think we're good now. I think we're good now. That shit was tripping, but I think we are good. All right, cool. There we go. How y'all doing today? How you doing today, man? Fucking still waiting on that news. You know what I mean? But if anybody, if any of you guys got any updates or whatever like that, man, put them in the chat or whatever like that. I know recently got a alert said that Adam Plant, Las Vegas native, man, UNLV product, has made the uh has made the 53, man. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's he has made the 53. That's crazy, man. It's so it's gonna be some surprising maybe guys at the very bottom. Maybe getting cut pretty soon. You're gonna kind of be hearing those names pretty soon because I mean with the amount of names that they've already announced and stuff like that. I don't know if they if they're trying to like make everybody put two and two together and try to figure out who the actual 53 at by just process of elimination by them kind of just fucking just basically bringing out all the cuts one by one, you know what I mean? So you just it's kind of like coming in, it's trickling in slowly, but we're getting news, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of a you see what guys are going to be on the team, and you already kind of know who are kind of be the best penciled in starters. So you can kind of take that, and then the guys that are being announced that are going to be on the team. It's I think the last time I counted, it was around like at 40. So it's not that much more names. I just think I don't know what's the holdup. You know what I mean for the to just release the 53. I mean, it's not gonna change regardless. I mean, they've already turned it into the NFL, so the deadline has already had to be met. It's just them actually, releasing it to their beat writers, releasing it to their social media page and stuff like that. So it's just a waiting game. It's kind of a thing that the Raiders have always done. One of the last teams to always release their 53. But I think it's coming soon right now. It's gonna be coming in hopefully, while we're doing this live. But before I go any further, let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. You know what I mean? We got 33 right now, so still coming in. But well, let me just say what's up. We got Alfredo up in the building, Sean Johnson. We got Dark up in the building. What's up, Dark? We got Tubi, Milka Beezy. What's up, guys? What's cracking? What's cracking? I know, man. I know you guys are waiting for this. You guys are just as anxious as everybody else, man. I just I'm gonna break it to you guys as soon as I get it. I mean, if you guys get it, put it in the chat. Just let it know where you see the 53, and we'll put it on the screen and stuff like that. So if you guys get it first, put it in the chat, and just so we can share this with the nation. You know what I mean? Also, we got Arkham in the building. What's up, Arkham? You back home, man? Made it home safe. That's great to see, man. Great to see. What's Anthony Estrada? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Thor up in the visit, the Raider Nation Drinking Club. Yeah, yee, yee, yee. What's cracking, man? We got Raider Chris 100. What's up, 100? Are you related to Whack 100? Nah, it's just fucking Raider Chris 100. What's cracking, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Uh, we got um we got Pyro up in the building. Lord Rashida's up in the building, man. Hell yeah, man. We just aces. Thanks, man. Thanks for the subscription, man. Hey, we're gonna be bringing you Raider news whenever we can, man. We're gonna always be having like this little smokeout hour. You know what I mean? We smoke, we talk Raiders, like that, and then we always gonna have the reaction show to like the post game reaction show. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. You always be I always be dropping channels on my chat. You know what I mean? So you guys can get a glimpse at other content creators. You know what I mean? That's part of our our little group, part of the nation, basically. You know what I mean? We're all the nation, but just some of my moderators will be putting some of the chats that I usually am on or something like that, like a Raider Twan, SC experience. We got Dirty Raider up in the building. We got Raider Allegiance. We got a grip, man. Dirty Low. We got a new channel in the Raiders Outsiders. It's being hosted by Gravy. So we just got a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? A bunch of stuff. Aussie Raider. All the way from down down under. You know what I mean? From Australia, we got Aussie Raider up in here. We got his Port Adelaide, and then we got AR. Avakasi Raider from Australia. So it's just all around the world, man. This is truly a nation. You know what I mean? It's worldwide, actually. You know what I mean? But I just love you know what I mean? The just the you know our basically our when we get together in the chats, man. Just our conversations, between the chat and us. You know what I mean? Our disagreements or what we agree on and stuff like that. It's great to see that everybody's invested in this team just as much as me as everybody else in the nation. You know what I mean? So I love to see it, man. No, we got NorCal Raider Jesse up in here. Yes, sir. Who else we got up in here, man? Sorry if I missed anybody though, man. But hey, shit, we gonna be getting to everybody. J Dub up in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raiders Resistant. What up, Prez? Raider Kojo. Yes, sir. We the people. Yes, sir. Man, thanks, man. You guys are flooding the chat for sure, man. I love it. I love it. T up in the building. Depressed Raider fan up in the building. Hey, depressed. Hey, glad to see you here, man. Glad to see you here. Twan up in the building. Raider Romero up in the building. What's up? What's up, man? I think it's time to take a hit. We got quite some people up in the chat. So let's take a rip. Let's take a rip real quick. I put the anybody if anybody's in the N1 chat. I mean, I put the link in there. If you guys are more welcome. Hit the link if you guys want to show up, pop up. You know what I mean? This is also being broadcasted on the Dirty Raider channel. You know what I mean? The Life of the Nation channel. So y'all can it's kind of being multi streams too. So I think Dirty Raider will be joining me in a couple of minutes if he gets done with what he's doing. But he should be here. But if not, man, we're gonna be looking out for this 53. But with the news so far today, I mean, the surprising news I think would be the Neil Farrell Jr. News, being traded to the Chiefs, and then the David Long Jr. I think being retained on the 53. You know what I mean? Adam Plant Jr., who was one of the more recent news that he has made the 53. You know what I mean? So there's quite a bit of guys. Some little surprises, but I think for the most part, like I was saying, in a couple days ago, it's nothing really was going to surprise me that much. You know what I mean? Nothing was really going to surprise me. Nothing was going to get me over the top to the point to I'm not gonna overreact yet. You know what I mean? Like maybe there is still there's still a possibility I might. You know what I mean? With the guys that we had kept or whatever. You know what I mean? Like a David Long or something like that. It's just I think there's still a lot of moves I think left to be made. You know what I mean? I think they're not trying to cut themselves off at the knees, so they are retaining some guys that are like on the fringe, just in case they can't, maybe bring in a guy on waivers or something like that. But I just think time will tell. Right now, especially without the 53, we can't really assess the whole or evaluate the whole roster as a whole. You know what I mean? But I'm not too I'm not too like mad, man. Like I know some people were kind of not I wouldn't say outraged. I would just say maybe like just a little head scratcher because why they would ask why would we trade with the why would we trade in division, you know what I mean, with the division rival that's Super Bowl, contending Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, I'm sorry. uh I just feel like Neil Farrell. I know that he came in last year. You know what I mean. He was a fourth round pick, a late fourth round pick. He never panned out. He barely got he didn't get that many snaps in. He was injured. You know what I mean. Couldn't really find his way on the field. Little nagging injuries, and then with the emergences, I think of guys like like Adam Plant, like maybe Jordan Willis, who I think deserves to be on the team, and other guys, like Nesta Silvera, who has been, already he's been uh pretty much pretty much he has made it's been confirmed that he has made the 53. So Nesta Severo, you know what I mean? That's a big, he was big things in camp about him, man, and it paid off. You know what I mean? It paid off good. He made the 53. You know what I mean? So I think you got Byron Young. You know what I mean? I think you got Matthew Butler, Adam Butler. You got Jenkins. So I think I I know that he came into this camp, I think, a little bit more motivated and stuff like that. And I think he played a little bit better, in preseason, but that is, against, I think he played mostly like second halves of games and stuff like that. I think in this last game he did get a lot of play time, but in the first two he played mostly like the, second half of games. I just think he didn't make a push to over, to overtake like a Nesta Silvera, man, to overtake like a guy like a Bilal Nichols, a guy like Tillery, just all of those guys, man. It's just I think when you trade a guy that's worth something in the division, I think it's for something to scratch your head about. But I think it's when you're about to release him, you know what I mean, and you still get a 6th round pick for him. I just believe it's like a situation like a Brian Edwards, like a Leatherwood. You know what I mean? I think next year they're not they he might not even be on a roster, bro. So before I go any further, got somebody backstage. The homie with the morning show. He's smoking a leño right now. We got the homie Nutty Nate in the building. What's cracking, man?
Yeah. What's good, homie? What's happening?
Chilling, man, chilling. We just right here, man, just waiting on this damn fucking official 53 to drop. But I mean, just with a little bit of news that we've gotten so far, you know what I mean. Just talking about those, you know what I mean, like the Farrell trade, the the retaining of like David Long Jr. over some other guys and stuff like that. So just talking about things like that until we actually get this fucking actual damn list out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the rest of
We're waiting until Christmas and shit.
the roster, exactly. Yeah.
Oh
So
shit!
I'm here. I'm hearing there's a trade going on though. They're
Oh,
talking
that's
about a
probably that
trade
that that that
with
could be a holdup.
Baltimore,
That could be one of the holdups.
and I could see the trade including. They're saying Patrick Graham is coming over to Las Vegas, and I can see us sending them Kuntz now that we signed Adam Plant. I
Uh,
can see us shipping Kuntz out there.
yep.
So stay tuned for that.
For reals, man. I can see the Adam Plant is gonna throw a little wrench in there for sure, man. Because I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
there was big news about Kuntz, maybe for sure making a team. There's like there was some noise for Jordan Willis. There was some noise for like some other guys out there. You know what I mean? But I think the Adam Plant is going to
yeah, yep.
either they're going to carry more defensive ends, or I think
Somebody's going.
he just won them over. You know what I mean? I think he just won them over,
Yeah,
and he won his spot, bro.
yeah, okay.
Because I mean,
I,
he's a
yeah,
homegrown boy. He's a
we,
Vegas guy. He's
yeah,
UNLV. Trying to make a name for himself, and there was some good talk about him in camp. You know what I mean? So I just think he 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 impressed the coaching staff to where I think the other guys, that were on that bubble, just they just didn't have that, either the upside that Adam Plant has, or just the drive. And also, again, before we go any further, yes, we got the co-host of this show right here, real quick, man. We got in the building right here, Mr. Dirty Raider. What's cracking, man? From the life
What
of the nation. Yes, sir.
what's good? What's good?
was
What's good?
good.
Chilling,
Man,
man.
Man,
Chilling, man. We just chilling. We waiting on this shit still. But what you think so far, man? What you think about the trade of Neil Farrell? I think that was mostly to keep Jade. You know what I mean? The Nesta Jade. To keep him, on the team. But I'm not tripping so much, man. In my opinion, I just don't trip because I think you ended up getting something for a player that the Chiefs might have ended up signing tomorrow, for nothing. You know what I mean? They could have might have ended, if we would have cut him, they might have ended up signing him tomorrow for nothing. You know what I mean? So that's why I think, like, if he is in your cut list or whatever, if he is on that bubble and he's just not gonna make the team, I just think it's great to see that they actually picked up the phone and didn't drop the ball like in the, kind of like the car situation type thing when they could have maybe got a little bit of something more, and they got nothing. You know what I mean? I think they might have learned from that, and then they picked up the phone, they made some calls, and the Chiefs were the only ones willing to give up a sixth. And if you're gonna get something for nothing, hey, I'm all for it, man.
Well, the Raiders answered the phone. The
That's true.
Chiefs made the phone call. We didn't put the trade on the board. The Chiefs called us about the trade. Um, it was actually they wanted to see what we were doing with Nesta J, if he was going to make the squad or not. And when the Raiders told them that yeah they was keeping Nesta J, they asked about Farrell, and Farrell was on the bubble with good reason. I mean, you look at tape, you know what I mean. He was the least productive of the two, right? Um, Kansas City wanted to know what the price would be. The Raiders initially gave them a fourth round status. They went back and forth. Chief said no, it's not worth the fourth because you picked him in the fourth, you're dropping him. You know what I mean? That's why it ended up being a sixth round. You're dropping a fourth round pick in year two. That means he's no longer valued at a fourth round pick. He
Yeah.
didn't pan
I
out.
thought I think he's a
So,
fifth round pick, Dirty.
well, same thing. Either
Yeah,
way it go.
yeah,
Fourth round,
yeah.
fifth
Yeah, I think it
round,
was like I think
you're
it was
not going to get the
either a
same
third.
value back 1 year
Yeah,
later after you release it. You're just not. So the fact that we
Yeah.
got anything, you should be counting blessings, right? Now that's an extra pick that they could package up with something else and pick up somebody else if they so choose to.
hence Aiden O'Connell this year. That's exactly what they did last year. The Brian Edwards pick, they packaged it with their existing fourth round pick, and they were able to pick up Aiden O'Connell. You know what I mean? So that's the type of thing that we don't ever look into the future that much, but it's things that end up paying dividends, bro. Like he could be our future. You know what I mean? And it took I know it's they could have probably packaged something else, but the mere fact that we had that extra pick from a compensation pick from giving away Brian Edwards, which Brian Edwards is not even on the roster now. You know what I mean? It's like we ended up getting Aiden O'Connell, strawberries and cream.
Mike, Michael, yes, it's not my fourth, it's my third Dr. Pepper today. It's
List
my third.
dropped. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
This was number two.
It dropped.
List
It dropped.
dropped. It said
What happened?
Oh
says the
shit.
list has dropped.
Let's just dropped, huh? I always got perfect timing.
Yes, sir. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Stupid shit. Let's see. What page? What page? What page? Let's see. Latest. But yeah, man, shit. That shit's hopefully we see the guys that we want to see on here, man.
Hey, but I knew they were going to trade a defensive tackle. I just didn't think nobody saw
Is it
Corral
almost
getting
5 o'clock?
traded.
Yep, I told you. Almost right when people start getting off work. I had to look at
Right
that
when
hat
people
real close, man. I was about to say, when you start working for UPS, I didn't see the shield for a minute. All I saw was like it looked like brown and gold. Like, this nigga start working for UPS.
I got
Yeah.
that has clean. I got that hat too. That's just pretty
Yeah,
clean. It has the Super Bowl
I
sticker right here. Huh?
couldn't see it for a minute. I couldn't see it for a minute.
That has the Super Bowl on the other side. The
No,
patch, the Super Bowl
no.
patch. Oh
No,
no.
you got
Oh
the
yeah,
stuff.
mine's
You got the
almost like that, but
That's a salute.
mine's
That's the
almost like
salute to
that.
service hat.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. But yeah, then let me see. I'm trying to find this damn fucking.
Yeah, I've been looking for that hat. I can't find it out here.
Yeah, you can't. I found it, but it don't have it in my size. Dog. They either have it like too big or too damn small.
What size?
Fucking seven and
Eight. Eight.
seven and no 7 and what is it? The one right before half. 7 and 3/8. I think it is.
I'm a Magnum, of
I can either
course.
wear both. I can either wear both. 3/8 or 7.5. Either
I'm a
one
Magnum,
will.
of course. Gabe missed the joke. Gabe missed the what size? He's like the one before 7'9". I'm a
Oh
Magnum, of
shit!
course.
I'm a magnet. You're a fool. Hey, Tony. Yeah. So let me see. Let's see. Let's see the 53 real quick. Raiders news right here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, man. They make it so damn hard just to like. That's 1 minute ago. Right here. There it is. All right. Let's. Oh shit. Waive the following players. Okay. We'll just say they waived. So you see if you guys are upset by any of these guys who were waived. David
Shit.
Agoha, Matthew Butler, McClendon Curtis, Cole Fotheringham,
I'm
Jaden
mad about
Grant.
that.
Okay. Jaden Grant, Taylor Hall, Aziz Hearn, Kanai Mauga, Sincere McCormick has been released. Natane Muti has been released. And it says right here, actually, Adam Plant waived. John Samuel Schenker waived. George Tarlis waived. Drake Thomas and Sam Webb waived. So we got our safeties. Oh no, the release. Oh shit! And those are all waived players. These are the released players now. Alex Bars released. Keelan Cole Sr. released. Philip Dorsett, Hornets Grossu, Jaquan Johnson, Isaac Rochelle, Duke Shelley,
Yes.
Sims, Damian Willis. Damian Williams and Jordan Willis.
Oh shit. Jordan Willis.
And they placed the injured reserve to protect Dalton Wagner.
Yep. Oh shit.
Yep.
Shelly can get the
And
fuck out of here, bro. I told you.
Shelly
You're
gone.
playing with me.
Shelly is gone. I would say the only guys that I think are like the ones that are kind of like just noteworthy. I would say maybe like Alex Bars,
Yeah. Does that
Jordan
mean
Willis.
they kept Meredith? Gabe? 61?
I think so, bro. Because
What?
he's not on the waived list or on the released list.
What? That's crazy. Good for him. He played his ass off.
Isaac,
I'll give him that.
yeah. Cam
Waived and
Sims was
released is not the same thing. When you're waived, you go to a waiver wire.
yeah. Released, you could become a free agent right away.
Right away.
So
Not the same.
yeah, Alex Bars is a free agent. Cam Sims, Duke Shelley, Jordan Willis, all those guys are free agents.
Only thing that's the same about it is you're not playing here as it
But
stands.
it
It's the
has who
only,
they
it's the
release.
only thing that makes it the same. Other than that, it's completely different.
It has who they release, but they don't fucking say who they actually kept, like the actual like depth chart.
That just means we kept long.
Yeah. I do want to see who the actual like, because I know what's his name was placed on the PUP list, but is that gonna be like a thing for long? Is that gonna be long spot for now while he's on the PUP list, like for like Brandon Faison, or is Faison because Faison's not on the waived or the release list, you know what I mean? Or he's not like designated on the PUP list like as of right now. Like he is, but I'm thinking he's only gonna miss the first 4 games, right? So if he misses the first 4 games, does that mean like, one of these guys that barely made it at corner, are gonna be, downgraded to the practice squad after week 4? You know what I mean? So there's still I think a lot of moves to be made, Doug, especially with these guys. And I thought I had a plan made it, man. I mean, there was some reports saying that he made it and stuff like that he had
Fake
was initially
news.
on the 3.
Fake
But nope.
news. Yeah. Hey, maybe he didn't. we fucked it up. We called the trade, and they're like, nope, trade canceled.
Yeah, for real. Like, yeah, you said Adam Pat, that's fucked up. But yeah,
Shortly
dude,
after that,
Shelly.
the roster came out, bro.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
funny. That's funny. I'm just playing. That was my conspiracy theorist brain thinking.
Yeah, Wilkerson made the team.
That's
Plant
funny.
went back to Home Depot. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Fucking cool kid, man.
What Cool
Yes,
Kev
yeah,
said?
yes, Jack. He will miss the first 4 games. Like if it's the short, if it's designated for like the short PUP list, then for sure, like the short term PUP list, then it's the first 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have kept him on the team if it was like a long term one. So I'm thinking it is for sure it's that. So if he's not waived or released, I'm pretty sure they're maybe trying to retain him. But shit, man, it's gonna be tough. Is he going to take long spot at the end of the day in after the fourth, or tomorrow? You know what I mean? Are there gonna be some notable guys come bring notable guys that they bring into the building to like get a look at because they might not be totally sold on some of these on the fence guys. What do you guys think? I'm just
Look, they're gonna continue to do their due diligence, bro. They're gonna continue to try to put the best 53 on the field. You know what I mean? They're gonna continuously try and do that. Long as we win, I don't give a fuck who's in uniform. Long as we fucking win.
Yep.
Long as we win games, I don't care who's in uniform. Well, unless it's unless you talk about a meat, of course. But other than that, I don't give a shit.
Hey, I expect more musical chairs. Definitely, you're right, Gabe. There's going to be some more movements. Maybe even a couple more trades. I expect some more moves. But he's definitely looking to continue to get better. So yeah.
Yeah,
Meek will be the greatest backup player we ever had, bro.
As you should be. You should always continue to look to get better. If not, you're stagnant. You're the same. You're not getting. It's not. It's yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
What happened?
I was putting some shit in the grinder and fucking dropped the grinder.
Oh shit. And then it's already fucking crumbled up. So it's like,
Nah, the good thing was I hadn't grinded it yet. You know what I mean? Good thing was I hadn't grinded it yet.
So you're still good.
The bad thing was there was a bucket of water underneath me and a little bit of it. That's all right. It's 100 degrees here, man. I set that shit outside. It'll be dry in 10 minutes.
Leave it in the sun for 10 minutes. Yeah,
it is.
It'll be dry in 10 minutes. I ain't tripping. Good thing it's just water. I hadn't put anything in it yet. It's just water.
Yeah, watch. Let me see him go right here. I'm just gonna show that list right now that I read off real quick. Fucking this thing going down.
If you twist the grinder more than 3 times, you're making dust.
Yeah.
You make the dust? Yeah, no, that's why I don't like doing that.
Grinder more than 3 times, you're making dust.
Take the flavor out your weed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that shit. I hate that shit.
Can't stand that shit, bro.
Yeah. I almost leave little chunky nuggies on purpose, just to leave the flavor in there.
I hate that too because it don't burn right.
You gotta roll it even. You're right, but yeah.
That's how you get runny joints.
Your boy's a pro though, so.
Oh, here it is. Share screen. I think it's this one. Yeah, there it is. All right, there. Watch. Let me go back to this. Later Yeah, right here. Look, you see, there's the wave the following player. This is the Raiders finalized initial 53-man roster for the 2023 season. And they have moved. The club announced Tuesday. Waves right here. These are the wave list right here.
The hemp papers, yeah.
And then the
The green
released.
zigzags.
The released ones right here. Those are the guys that I think these are the more, maybe more, a little bit more, maybe surprising, but I wouldn't say too surprising though, because I just think a lot of these guys were on the edge anyway. So you know what I mean. I think it's just a tribute to the work that the other guys did, man. You know, all the work that the other guys were doing, man. You know what I mean? It's just they seen more in the other ones. You know what I mean? They seen more, more work ethic, probably more, just more uh willing to be coachable, willing. You know, you got younger guys who you I think you hear big things about in camp, like Nesta. You know what I mean? That's the one guy that I think that's the one reason why the Neil Farrell Junior trade was kind of kind of like brought along. You know what I mean? I think Van Rotten for sure. He got to stay. You know what I mean? Van Rotten. I think his emergence kind of put Alex Bars. You know, kind of made him step back a little bit. I think it's just the that, and that's what I was liking about this camp, bro. Like that this camp, you had a lot of guys that were competing for spots, and it ended up making for what I mean, a little bit of surprise cuts, but as far as the guys I think that stood, I think they performed, man. They performed enough in camp and in preseason games to show that they were enough to stay on this 53-man team. And I like some of the guys. Maybe Bolden. I mean, I would say maybe Bolden. That's the only guy, and Hoyer. But other than that, I see no problems with the guys that they actually get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Brandon Bolden's that locker room guy. He's part of the culture
Yeah, that's the
change.
reason why I think they keep him,
Yeah.
and then of course you keep Hoyer, because so like those two guys that I just named, they put they make some sense because of that. You know what I mean? One's a locker room guy, and then the other one's gonna probably be the sideline guy. During games for teaching Aiden the iPad and shit, teaching Aiden O'Connell what he's watching overhead from the on the iPad, or like be the coach on the sideline and shit for him during game days and stuff like that. When you got McDaniels and Mick Lombardi trying to be more engaged in the game. You know what I mean? So I think that's what he's being held on for, and especially with the new rule of it doesn't really count to the 53 to carry a third quarterback. You know what I mean, on game days. So I think that's the only reason why Hoyer's on the team, and then Bolden. You know what I mean? There's just those guys have a little bit of I wouldn't say excuse, but just like an intangible, why they probably stood on the team.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what else.
I'm not mad at none of these releases, truthfully, except for the Cole Fotheringham. I thought he played well enough to retain his job. But
Yeah, he played pretty good, man. He played pretty good, especially in the first couple games. You know what I mean? He was catching. He was getting some chemistry with Aiden out there. You know what I mean? So I think I don't know, man. I kind of like him over the other guy that they kept. You know what I mean? That they said they kept, but who knows,
Who'd they
man?
keep?
Hopefully
They kept
the
Shanker?
no
yeah,
Shanker's gone. No, I
Jenkins
think
gone.
Shanker's
We kept Hooper,
Horsted.
Horsted,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
May and
Horsted.
Mayers, whatever. But I'm just saying, man. I honestly I believe, but at the same time, I don't run this team, so I just thought Cole Fotheringham was just had a better display. Maybe they're hoping to get him back on the practice squad. Who knows?
From what I've seen, Cash Lord, I think they kept Palmau and Teamer.
Mm.
Yeah, I think we kept both.
Both for special
I'm
teams. You
waiting
know,
for that 53 to drop, though. Let me see. Hold on. Raiders just sent me something. Hold on. What the Raiders sent me?
And I appreciate you guys. I gotta get back in the house. I got home early.
For sure, man.
Gotta
For
stop
sure.
and
Oh yeah,
show some love, you know. Yeah,
You're
I
probably looking
appreciate
out the window. What is he doing in his
yeah,
car?
yeah. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Raider Nation. Thank y'all. Dirty. Gabe. Hey,
Yes, sir.
we gotta
Oh,
say.
hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
So
Hey, we got 53 in the chat right now. Shit, there's the 53 right now. We got 53 in the motherfucking chat right now, baby.
We got
there we
one
go.
for every player, man. We got one for every
Yes,
player
sir.
on it.
Amik, yes, man. Amik had to be on this team, man. Amik had to be on this team. I was just saying about like I know there's some people out there who kind of kind of maybe seen this last week's game and kind of maybe said, you know, Meek doesn't have it or whatever, but he was playing with a bunch of four stringers out there, man, and guys who you've seen today right here. Most of the guys that he was playing with that day are cut or released
Good.
or waived. You know what I mean? So it's like he's trying to make up for a bunch of stuff, and he had no problem when he was playing with more guys of like you know, when he was playing twos against twos or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or when he didn't have to compensate for other guys' mistakes and stuff like that. So I think, you know, you got to take into account with the Meek, you know, last year's improvements and then this year's, you know what I mean? You know, like it's just him, I think, getting better every day. I mean, every day, every year, you know, just incrementally better. I think is the reason why they kept Shelly, man. I just think his upside is better than a Meek. A Meek's, you know, if you know, do a side by side comparison, you know, career stats, they've been in the league for like the same amount of years, 3 years each, and you know, Amik just has better stats. You know, Amik has better stats, so you can't even point at that direction to like say like, you know, Shelly's better than him. Maybe he played he was the best corner on the worst defense last year. That maybe that's why the Vikings were sad to see him go. But I just think that when it comes down to them two, I see Amik. You know, Amik's better. And that's the reason why you seen what they did today, man, with that move, the Duke Shelley and Amik.
Meek proved it last year, bro. He ain't had nothing to worry about. He proved everything he needed to prove last year. In the time of need, when they needed a corner to step up and do his fucking job, Meek stepped up and did his fucking job. I don't understand how in the world you would think that they're gonna let that go and walk out the building to go play somewhere else, bro. That don't make no sense. I get it. Y'all don't like him because he's not tall. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Do you not like Barry Sanders because he was small? Just saying. Gee whiz, man. Let the kid live, bro. He goes out there, he performs, he does what he's supposed to do. He's dependable. I'm not acting like the dude's a superstar. Like he's not the Hall of Fame. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is he's a player that you can depend on. And we don't have enough of that. And you want to get rid of players that you can depend on, but you want to keep players that you can't. That's not conducive to saying you want a good team. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat, but just saying. Hey, Anthony, I sometimes have that issue too, bro. I'll be on people's channels and I can't comment, and I'm not blocked, but something happens within uh my phone and I can't fucking comment, and I have to leave the show and come back, and then I can end up commenting after that. So
There it is.
yeah.
You could depend on, let's see, give up a 70-yard touchdown. When was the last time Amik gave up a 70-yard touchdown? Just want to know that, Ray.
You can't
That's
depend
all.
on a meat. You can depend on a meat to give up a 70-yard, giving up 70-yard touchdowns consistently. Consistently? How? When?
When
When has the meat given up a 70-yard touchdown?
I've never seen that, man. Like I would
Hey,
more. I would more argue the fact of keeping, Duke over David Long, but not over Amik. You know what I mean? There's an argument there, you know what I mean, to be had
Yeah,
with David Long
Shelly over
and
Long. Okay, cool. But
but Shally over Amik, no way.
and Long? Nah, you crazy. Hey,
What's good? What's good, fam?
What's up, Twan? The
Quan,
chaplain in
how
the
you doing, man?
building.
But the third time I talked to you on the show today in 24 hours.
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, dog. Where you been?
Big day, man. It's a big day.
Hey, man, you know I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. You know?
Fuck
You know
you,
what I'm
Michael.
saying?
The only problem with the Meek is he's 2'9". Fucking shit.
Hey, I had to cut out on my other show because I had a doctor's appointment, but I came back. I was like, man, let me see. So did they actually really release the
They've released
report?
it, but they haven't released like the whole list. You got to kind of put it together. But they released everybody that they just released a list of who they actually waived and released. So
Who
there's nobody else that you have to guess about that to get
And
released.
that's not even everybody, bro.
Yeah, whoever's doing a media need to be fired. I swear. Like, there's no way that the deadline was at 1, you know what I'm saying, Pacific time, and we still haven't got the full
Well,
clip by this
well,
point.
here's the issue, Twan. They don't have a media guy right now. They're looking for a media guy. Remember, they fired the dude they had. You saw the application, right?
Nah.
Yeah, they're looking for a media guy right now. They don't have one.
I was about to say something and we would have got canceled. But who's the guy that does the podcast?
Hondo, he's just a beat writer.
No, the Pasquale or whoever.
Oh, you talking about Andy Pascal?
Why he
Yeah,
ain't doing?
he's not their media guy. He's their talk guy. He's not the media guy. Look, there's a guy. There's always a guy behind the scenes that you never see. That's the guy in charge. Everybody else are just faces. That's the guy in charge, and they don't have one of those right now.
Where's Terrence when we need him? You know what I'm saying?
Twan, this is the waived list right here. The one I'm on the screen. This is the waived list. The guys that got waived pretty much right here, and then all the way to Sam Webb.
And then these are the released here.
And then these are the released.
And there's a difference, ladies and gentlemen, between waived and released.
Yes, there is.
Yes, sir.
A waived really says, hey, we don't really want to let you go, but go ahead and let you go. Hopefully we can get you back. A release is, if we bring you back in, man, you're going to take a whole lot less money than what we was talking about.
So hey, Gabe, I can't fully see it. You know what I'm saying? I know but can you run the names?
Let me zoom it in. Yeah, let me zoom it up a little bit, and I'll read the names out too.
Got it. Yes, I got it. I can see it.
Okay, so it's the wave list is David Agoha, Matthew Butler, McClendon Curtis, Cole Fotheringham, Jaden Grant, Tyler Hall, Azizi Hearn, Kanai Mauga, Sincere McCormick, Natane Muti, which is that's kind of one that I kind of wanted to make the team, but he didn't. But oh well. Adam Plant, John Samuel Schenker, it's hard to say. George Starless, Drake Thomas, and Sam Webb. Those are the waived guys.
So the guys that are waived, man, like I think about Tyler Hall, I think about McClendon Curtis, I think about Muti, of course Webb. Fotheringham, but all the other guys, they're like, okay, whatever. To me,
you know what's funny about the people who are waived? They had no money. They had no money hits against the cap for being waived.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they're all
the guys who were released. If we waived them, we were still on the hook for some of their salaries, and that's why they were released, because we no longer owe them anything.
Yeah, which is Alex Bars, Keelan Cole Sr., Philip Dorsett, Hornets Grasu, Jaquan Johnson, Isaac Rochelle, Duke Shelley, Cam Sims, Damian Williams, and Jordan Willis. Oh, and then
Just
they
look at those. Go back up there real quick. So you
and they
got
put
Damian Williams, right? Look, go Damian Williams, Sims. Go up a little bit more. Grasu, Dorsett, Cole, Bars. We would have owed all of them money if we would have waived them.
Yeah. And then right here they put they placed them on injury reserve to kind of like what they did to Sincere last year.
Yeah.
They put it on Dr. Wagner.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
I thought they were going to do that with McClendon Curtis. You know what I'm saying? Because they also spent some money to bring him in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that's going to play out for them. You know what I'm saying? I think they still I have a feeling that they still like him. You know what I'm saying? And if they can bring him back, they will. But it'll be interesting how that plays out. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy though? The one that does kind of like surprise me though too is and this goes to like their drafting last year, because that is a big like that I would kind of I would say that it's a bad look, because I mean, you got both of the DTs that you basically, both of the DTs that you drafted last year are gone. Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell are gone. You know what I mean? So you have no DTs from last year, but that also has to attribute to, I mean, the emergence of Nesta. You know what I mean? And then like a John Jenkins, who I think they're keeping and stuff like that. But it's just that's just the only thing that kind of like maybe is just a little eye opener. Like, damn, they do.
Aces, I saw your comment. Aces, no, he's AO4 is not going back to number 9. That is Tyree Wilson's number. Tyree is not giving that up. That's the number he chose.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Raiders gave him the number 4.
Yeah,
he didn't get a choice. He didn't get a request. He was given the number 4. So, and he said it himself. It's not the number he asked for. It's the number that was given to him by the Raiders. Now,
I just think he don't care, bro. Like it looks like that he has like that type of attitude that I don't give a fuck what number I have, bro. Let me just go out there. You know what I mean? Go have some fun.
I think he has. I think he has a whole lot of more fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? Bigger fish to fry than when to worry about what number is on his back. You know what I'm saying? And to what you were saying about the defensive line, the young defensive lineman, that's kind of one of the things I said earlier. Is I'm concerned about that, because you drafted Butler. You know what I'm saying? He's out the door. You drafted Farrell. He's out the door. Like, what do we have that we're building this team? You know what I'm saying? On our D line, we're drafting on the D line, but are we keeping them on the D line? That's kind of the, you know what I'm saying? And we're still the question mark is still on Nesta. You know what I'm saying? Like, we hope he ends up being that kind of guy for us, but could he be out the door next year?
No, because he was a UDFA, wasn't he?
No, Nesta was a 7th.
7th? Okay, yeah. 7th. So look, how much value are you really putting in late round draft picks, man?
Yeah.
How much value are you really putting into late round draft picks?
Like if he pans out, cool, perfect. You know what I mean? Just like a month.
If he don't, it was a late pick.
Yeah. Those sometimes are mostly, like almost throwaway picks, or picks that you swap with other people to, get back into a certain round and stuff like that. So, like, I know that there's obviously, you want to make every draft pick, you know what I mean, worthwhile and stuff like that. But it's just sometimes, like, it doesn't work out, and it's a less of a blow when it's, you only really use the 6th or 7th round pick on one of those guys. Yeah, I do see that we didn't use I think we used a high 5th or a late 4th on Neil Farrell last year, if I'm not mistaken. But the only reason why I would have been more mad if they would have just straight out cut him, bro. Because if you just straight out cut him for a 4th round pick, that's fucked up. But at least you got something back. I understand the trading in between divisions that can be, you know, a little, you know, iffy with you know, certain like a certain fan base and stuff like that, you know. But I just think that he reminds me of one of those the instances of like of like a Brian Edwards, bro, or like a Leatherwood for some
So,
reason.
so are we? And I'm just posing the question: are we okay with bringing in guys and then having them leave? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Making a quick exit when we draft
like
them.
no, that's one thing that I don't want that to make that a habit. You know what I mean? But I do like the fact that, you know, this draft was a lot better. I know that last year, I mean, there's no excuses or whatever like that. I just think that last year was kind of like a put the team together on a fly type of thing. You know, you were limited in the draft picks that you had because you used them on the, you know, DA and stuff like that. And you didn't come out empty handed, you know what I mean? Even with the, you know, the little bit of draft picks that you had, you still came out with
Yeah,
you know, some good offensive linemen, you know what I mean? So it's like I think that helped a lot. You know what I mean? You came out with you know, some undrafted guys, you know, like in Masterson, who's gonna be on this team. You know what I mean? So you did do something, but losing those two first guys, I mean, losing those two D tackles is just a little not too worrisome, but it's just like okay. But this year, I think this year's draft, I think you'll be able to evaluate a little bit more better because I just think they had more time to evaluate guys. They had more time to evaluate guys that fit on this team, you know, this certain team. And I just think that this is like their true like, you know, full like draft, like their draft. You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
You're always gonna take a chance on players, man. You know what I mean?
mhm.
That's why it's called taking a chance. Everything's not gonna pan out the way you want it to. Some of these players, they're drafted out of position. You know what I mean? They we look at they, you know, not we, but they look at, oh, maybe I can get them to do this, maybe I can get them to do that, or maybe I can bring this out of them. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. But you also got to look at it like this: those people that you think are monsters and, you know, this and that, and they didn't make the squad. Then obviously the guys that did might be just a little bit better than them. So, you know, everything's not set in stone. That's the other thing. Remember, a lot of things aren't set in stone. Some
Yeah,
players might have been kept for trade bait. You have no idea, you know. So
mhm.
just just hold your horses. I don't want to overreact just yet. You know what I mean? I want to get an actual 53, and then I
Yeah,
think I'll address it maybe Friday night with Loon. You know what I mean? We'll sit down and address the actual roster because that by then we'll have an official, you know what I mean, the trades and everything within the next couple of days. And then we'll actually really know. We'll have time to sit down and, you know, look at it and be like, okay, cool. I see where they made a move here. I see where they made a move here. You know, I just want to see the initial 53. I want to see, you know, what it is we could possibly look like. And then I can go from there.
Yeah. No, and you know, I do take that perspective too of waiting and seeing, but I'm also in the waiting and seeing. I'm also observing. Like, look, if we're drafting guys, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying they have to be all pro guys or anything like that, but if we're drafting these guys, we need to be using them. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be drafting it and flushing them back out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to help. You know what I'm saying? You know, build a team. You know, what are we doing futuristic wise of having a solid core of a room, if you know what I'm saying, it's a carousel, and we've had that for years. You know what I'm saying, even outside of this regime of drafting guys, bringing them in, and then they're out. You know what I'm saying, and it's like you're not giving. I'm not saying they're not giving them a chance to grow, and that might even be the case too. But it's still like a wait and see, because for me, it's not a complete red flag, but it's kind of like a I don't know. You got two draft picks from last year that are out the door. What
I'm
are we
back.
doing?
there it is right there. Look at there's the list. Okay, so here's your quarterback. You got Jimmy Garoppolo, Brian Hoyer, Aiden Connell. Okay, you they took four running backs: Amir Abdullah, Brandon Bolden, Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, with fullback Jacob Johnson. Receivers, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Carter, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfro, Trey Tucker, Christian Wilkerson. Okay. Tight ends, Michael Mayer, Austin Hooper, Jesper Horsted. Offensive line, Jermaine Illuminor, Justin Heron, Andre James, Colton Miller, Jordan Meredith, oh wow, Thayer Mumford Jr., Dylan Parham, and Greg Van Ryan. Okay, okay. Like it, I'm not at any of that. Maybe Muti would be maybe the only guy, but and McClendon Curtis maybe over Heron, but kind of like that. I like the offense. Okay, the
Yeah.
offense not too much to complain about really. Let's see defense. Okay, defense.
Heron's definitely one of those ones I raise an eyebrow at.
Yeah, I would have kept McClendon Curtis over him for sure. But then again, we're not on the sidelines every game, but we're not on the sidelines every practice or anything like that. But still, like just what we saw, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Okay, defensive line. You got defensive tackle. I'll name the defensive tackle first. Adam Butler, Nesta Silvera, John Jenkins, Alao Nichols, Jerry Tillery, Byron Young. So DEs, Tyree Wilson, Malcolm Coons, Chandler Jones, Max Crosby. Oh yeah, and that's it. Pretty much four defensive ends. Four defensive ends, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensive tackles. So 10. We stood with 10.
Wait, say the defensive ends again.
Defensive end is Tyree Wilson.
Okay.
Malcolm Kuntz, Chandler Jones, and Max Crosby.
Okay, yeah, that's the 4.
Yeah, those are the 4. Those are good 4. I like those 4. Okay,
I
so
thought
linebackers.
I thought they were going to move. I thought they were going to move Tyree to, because I've heard some reports that they were going to use Tyree as a linebacker. So I didn't know if they were going to put him at, have him at defensive end or actually mark him as a linebacker.
Oh, okay. Oh shit! Now, this is one too. I'm gonna get to that right now, but I'm a linebacker. We'll get there first, and then we'll go to the one that we've been kind of waiting for. Linebackers: Robert Spillane, of course. Divine Diablo, yep. Luke Masterson, yep. The one that was kind of maybe a little bit surprising, I would say, is because he had a good preseason, but then again, you know what I mean. But we're not seeing like everyday practice and stuff like that, so maybe they see more in Curtis Bolton there. I think Amari Burney kind of had a shot just because it's his first year, and they were gonna see to at least what they have for 1 year. You know what I mean? Just like what they did with the other guys, like Neil Farrell, like Matthew Butler, the guys even from like last year. You know what I mean? They know they keep them around for a little bit, and if they just feel like they're not that guy, they're gonna let them go. But I think that's the reason why Amari Burney, they wasted a draft pick, so they're gonna see what they have in him. But I think the Curtis Bolton is the one where I see like, okay, they might have seen more than what they've seen in Drake Thomas. I mean, in game wise, I seen a lot out of Drake Thomas because he was making a lot of tackles, leading tackler 2 straight games. But I just think Curtis Bolton, his familiarity with this team, I think he's been on this team with he made the 53 last year, but he didn't make it too long. He made the 53, but he got cut right away. That still could be a possibility this year, you know what I mean, with all the cuts that are being made, around the league. But he made the 53 again, and I think that's kind of what had his shoe in. But nothing too surprising there. I just think that they're gonna take a look for sure, a hard look at all the waivers out there, man. Like put in a waiver or something, or a free agent. They're gonna go out and look at linebackers for sure because they're just too thin. I just think they're too thin there. What do you think?
I think that was just something that we've always, we've been saying that, especially at the linebacker room, it's kind of like a glaring, glaring hole, especially like I've been preaching depth, the whole, pretty much the whole time. And there is definitely a need for the the guys that we do have in our backup spots to step up. But yeah, I hope they kind of look somewhere else too to help us out at the linebacker position.
And you know what though? This is just, I think, told us that I guess Brandon Faison is not on the 4 week PUP list because he is on the roster. The six guys that they took cornerbacks are Marcus Peters, Nate Hobbs, Brandon Faison, Jacorian Bennett, the guy, the one that I think that has the most question mark, David Long Jr. and Amik Robertson. I think the only question mark right there is David Long Jr. because I think the debate was between him and Shelley. I think that's the debate. I think David Long, they might like his experience because he has been on a Super Bowl winning team. He was one of the, I think, the better corners on that team or something like that. But that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what I mean? So I just think he's probably living on laurels right now. I think most likely, but because I don't know, man. That was a close one. I think between him and Shelly, that was I think it probably came down to the wire, man, between them two. But I honestly would have kept Shelly over David Long. I know you feel the same way too, though.
And you know what? You know what, Gabe? I kind of even with what I'm saying the other live with SE, like I still feel that way, but I'm kind of more calm about it now. But yeah, I think if we bring, I think that even if they bring in some more corners in here, I think David Long is the next one. Yeah, he's the one that's out.
Demoted to the practice squad or something, huh? Yeah, that's what I feel too. And then over here, 2 safeties, man. They kept 5. That's crazy. They kept 5 safeties. That was surprising. I thought they would keep 4, but they kept the 5, man. They kept. I thought it was gonna be a battle between Isaiah Palmao and Broderick Seamer on Saturday, but turns out that they like both of them, man. They like both of them. How I think the big thing about it is because of their special teams play. You know what I mean? There are some they're like those special teams. They're tough on special teams, man, for sure. Like they go out there and take that job serious, and I think that's the main reason why they were able to stay on this roster. But I mean, other than I think that David Long Jr., I kind of like the moves, man. I mean, I love the Nesta Jake Severo. I love that they kept him on the team, bro. That was a big thing because he's a young dude. He has that edge. You know what I mean? He has that. He's like on the verge of being dirty, but he's not. You know what I mean? But I just think like he's the type. He's gonna give us some attitude in that interior line when he's in there, bro. You know what I mean? He's gonna be one of those type of guys, and it's kind of needed sometimes. You know what I mean? I know it's the Raiders, and kind of would like to stay away from those type of players, but I think we do need sometimes. We do need some of those guys sometimes, bro, for sure. And then we'll go to
especially in the middle of our defensive line.
And this was a given. You know what I mean? This was a given already. You know what I mean? Daniel Carlson, AJ Cole, and Jacob Bowenmeyer for sure. Those three guys were special teams for sure.
No, I think Carlson was on the bubble. You know what I'm saying? I think we might be looking for another kicker.
Real. I think that 62-yarder wasn't long enough, man.
Yeah.
I just you know what I mean? No, but I like it. I kind of like it. I think we could have maybe. I think we're still there's still a possibility of them going maybe out and signing a linebacker, which that still puts I think a bullseye on David Long Jr. or even maybe one of these safeties, because I think if they cut from a certain position, they're going to end up cutting from one of those two positions. I think they carried like one extra just in case, but I think if they do end up, going out there and like maybe bringing in a linebacker, I think a guy from either like a guy like Isaiah Palmau or Roger Teamer or a David Long Jr. gets demoted. Those would be like the first guys to get demoted, I would think.
Yeah, because I was going to say, since they carry 5 safeties, what room right now is the shorter room.
For real.
Did they cut from the D line?
Well, they took 10. I don't think they cut from the D line. That's what I'm saying. I think they cut
Oh, so
from
it wasn't the
either.
D line.
No, yeah, they only kept 10 from the D. I think. Watch, I think of what position did I see that it looked like it just had more than usual? The offensive line they kept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They kept 8. So offensive line they kept 8. So where did they keep an extra amount of guys? You would say. Tight ends they kept 3, so I'm pretty good there. Maybe an extras they probably kept the extra safety, and I would think that's it, though, like an extra safety, because I'm kind of thinking you have to go kind of like six corners. You know what I mean? I just think you have to be kind of deep, or just even have those guys available. You know, those bodies available just in case somebody gets hurt or tired or something. But
They must,
safeties,
because they must have. Okay, how many wide receivers were there?
6.
I'm trying to remember where they cut short. They had to cut somewhere short to give us an extra safety.
That's what I'm saying. I think they cut it short really on the offensive line, because I think what did we carry last year? Like 10?
I think maybe 9.
Yeah, and we kept 8 this year.
Got it.
Yeah, we kept 8 this year.
Because I don't remember, like, because even when I was talking to other people about their 53, man, like, I don't think anybody was saying that they were going to have more than 4 safeties. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what's crazy though too? They have Brian Hoyer on this list, but on game days he will not be included with the 53, or one of those quarterbacks won't even be included with the 53. So who do they bring up? They
Okay,
still
so
have to
that
go through the practice squad, and they still have to go, like that. So there's gonna be an open spot. But I think that's gonna be, with the guy that they end up bringing in. You know what I mean? Whatever guy they do end up bringing in, that's gonna be that spot. Because yeah, looking at this, it's 53 guys, but on game days, Brian Hoyer will not count to the 53, or one of those quarterbacks won't count towards the 53.
So
depends on who go with the 2.
People are not going to like me, but I really don't care because I just speak my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell is going to be our emergency quarterback.
Okay. I like that.
And I know people ain't gonna like that, but Aiden O'Connell's going to be our emergency quarterback.
I think so
Yeah.
too, man.
Because unfortunately, if Jimmy G went down, I still feel like they're going to lean towards the veteran, and that means Hoyer is coming out. As much as people want Aiden O'Connell to be like the number 2, I don't think that's going to be the case. So Aiden O'Connell will be the emergency, which it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because it does matter, but then it doesn't matter because Hoyer's still going to be able to, have the iPad, and have, with Aiden O'Connell, because even though Aiden O'Connell will be the emergency quarterback, he still will be, suited up, for on game days.
I like it though, man. I like the fact that that's a possibility. You know what I mean? That we're still, like, if we bring in a linebacker tomorrow, we don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, like what guy we send down or something like that. You know what I mean? Because then after that, you don't have to send nobody on waivers. You just pick up a guy, and then you could actually send the guy to the practice squad because he's already on your 50. He's already on your initial 53, so you don't have to go through waivers or anything like that anymore. So like, you could just literally demote now to if you bring in another guy. So I think they're playing it right. They're playing the role right. Like they're trying to They kept the 53 right now, knowing that that third quarterback is not going to count towards the 53 on game days, and knowing that they're gonna, because I think I heard something from one of the beat writers said that they're most likely, like not most likely, it says the Raiders will put in like I guess a waiver for tomorrow. Like they are expected to put in waivers tomorrow. So like so they are going to be out there looking. You know what I mean? So I think it's just now it's just to see who. You know what I mean? What position? What are they looking for? What are the deficiencies you see on this team or something like that? I would say, you know, I mean, I would go as the linebacker. You know what I mean? That's the glaring. I think the glaring one. Because I think you know you just don't. You're not. You first of all, you're not deep. You don't even have a backup middle linebacker. You know, basically. So it's like you have to go out there and get somebody, man.
Because if Spillane goes down, I hate to
Then
say
you
it,
have
but
to start
I
moving shit
think what
around.
if Spillane goes down, I think Diablo would actually have to slide into the middle
Exactly.
linebacker spot, and then now you have
Bernie or Bolton taking their
yeah,
spot, and now you have Bernie, and then you have Masterson, or Bolton and Masterson, which
because you
that
have
does not look good.
because both of our starting linebackers actually they 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 have green dot experience. Because you
Yeah,
remember
exactly.
early in the season they were talking about Diablo was doing stuff with a green dot, so we know Spillane is already a green dot, but you know what I'm saying, Diablo, who's out there at the same time, is also the green dot. So if one of those guys goes down, then the other person kind
I
of
see a lot of people saying this, though. We do need we need an actual linebacker, because a lot of people don't believe in Spillane. I do. I personally do. I seen what, like, you know, what his emergence last year. You know what I mean? Because he basically started off with no position, then took a first round picks position. You know what I mean? And then ended up playing damn good. You know what I mean? He had one of the better second half seasons out of that whole defense. You know what I mean? And that defense was top five in the second half of last year. You know what I mean? The Pittsburgh defense was top five in the league last year. You know, in the second half of the season, and you know what I mean. And Spillane was a big catalyst of that. So I think that's why I believe it's Spillane, bro. I just think that he's gonna be a guy that comes in here. He's getting better. You know what I mean? He's been getting better every year. You know what I mean? And he took Devin Bush's spot last year, and I just think it's Perriman. I would say I like Perriman's. Um, you know, when they're on the field, I like his actual play better, maybe, but because Perriman, you know, he showed you he could be a Pro Bowler. He could be
mm,
one of the better end linebackers in this league. The only thing with Perriman is that he can't stay on the field. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you can't keep going through that every year. You know what I mean? You can't keep going through that every year, especially, you know, in big games. You know what I mean? Big games where when you need him, he's just not available. So I think that's the reason why that, because as personally, I would, of course, I would love to keep Perriman, but it's just, you know, his health. You know what I mean? He was that type of dude like that played the linebacking position the way you wanted him to. You know what I mean? He went out there, he put his nose on the football. He was gonna go out there. Maybe he could have used a little bit better, you know, coverage skills, whatever. But I just think I love the way that he played that he played you know, linebacker. Is just that he couldn't stay on the field, bro. And
yeah,
that's what it sucked to see that, because I think it's some of those games last year, even, you know, having him on the defense might have been a turn. You know, it might have been kind of that, maybe a turn of events on certain drives and shit like that. But I just think I want to see Spillane, bro. I want to see Spillane. But I don't disagree though fully that we do need to bring in a linebacker that, you know, that's go out and draft them high. You know what I mean? Go out and draft a linebacker high, or go out and go next year that you're gonna have the money. Go out and try to get somebody. You know what I mean? It's just you gotta have somebody out there that's super dependable out there, man. Yeah, there's guys with upside like Diablo. There's guys with, you know, there's guys that I have been emerging
mm,
like Spillane, but that we just don't have that guy. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we've been missing for a long time now. But hopefully Spillane could be that guy. But I think we do have to for sure make an investment in linebacking, either low end this year with trying to go out and get somebody in the waiver and then hitting it hard in the draft. Pause. Hitting it hard, next year in the draft. You know what I mean, with the high draft pick or something.
Yeah. And Dirty asked the question, you know what I'm saying, about how many people can we get off of, off of waivers. You know what I'm saying? We can claim as many as we want as long as we keep, you know what I'm saying, the 53. So that means we can claim as many players as we want, but we have to make a corresponding. That's why you see all the time, we picked up so and so, and with a corresponding, you know what I'm saying, we waived so and so. You have to do that, but also with the waiver wire, there's a specific number, and I think we're like number 7 in that ranking. So we have to, you know what I'm saying, if there's somebody higher than us, you know what I'm saying, for a specific player, then obviously they go to that team. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to hope whoever it is, it falls to when we're able to get them. You know what I'm saying? If other teams are not, going after them, but we can get as many as we want off the waiver wire if there's that much talent that, you know what I'm saying, is on the waiver wire like that.
Yeah, what's crazy though? 2 years in a row, like there was instances where last year, I think it was you and SC Live too. No, you and SC Live, and then I went live right after, and DA, the DA fucking signed with us, right? And that was cool, right? And then this year he's fucking waiting for the 53, and then I go live right after him, and he fucking release it. It's like fucking shit.
Yeah.
Fucking SC, man. He just gotta wait a little bit longer.
there sometimes there's benefits to being, you know what I'm saying, on the daytime TV, and then sometimes it ain't.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like the mid time shows. Yeah,
it's cool, man. I mean, hey, but he broke down a lot of stuff to where we kind of had an idea of who, you guys were kind of breaking it down good to where the point, like, you kind of had an idea who was going to be on the 53, and there's no big time surprises, I think, right here, like that we've seen in the thing, other than the maybe keeping five safeties, maybe that's probably about it. I thought that we're gonna only keep 4,
yeah.
So other than that, I like the offense. I thought it was good. I would. Oh yeah, that one too. I personally, just because and maybe I'm biased just because he wore the number 54, but I kind of wanted Muti over Meredith. But hey, good shit for Meredith, man. He made the team.
I think the reason why they kept Meredith is because Meredith is probably going to be our backup snapper. You know what I'm saying? Well, not backup snapper. I mean our backup center.
Oh shit! I didn't see this. I'm gonna have to watch it. I didn't know that he was on Busting with the Boys.
Who?
Okay, Josh McDaniels on Busting with the Boys.
Oh, got it. Yeah. But yeah, Meredith is going to probably be our backup center.
Yeah, because I mean, either that or like, I mean, he's going to be, I think, a swing guy. I think he's going to be a guy who could play multiple positions, center, guard. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think he could, kind of fill in either way there. But I think it's good because this coaching staff has kind of like those guys. You know what I mean? And you've seen it last year, this year. You know what I mean? Guys who are kind of like a Swiss Army type of shit. Like, that's why they drafted Dylan Parham, because he played center and he could play guard. You know what I mean? That's why they drafted Mumford, because he played guard and he could move out to tackle. You know what I mean? And it's just, a Luminor, same thing. Played guard, he could play tackle. It's just, I think that they like those type of guys who are more, they're kind of versatile. But I don't know, man. I think I mean, it don't, but like I said, like in previous lives, bro, I wasn't going to be too upset with anyone like any one release or anything like that. I just think preference, yeah, of course. I think there's things that I might have preferred, but as far as like super head scratchers like in other years, you know what I mean? I just,
yeah,
I kind of like it. It's a smooth day, not too. Yeah, I don't have to pull out the little hair that I have, Grasu is the backup center. No, Grasu got waived. Grasu got waived, so it's most likely Meredith and Parham going to be backing up at center. I liked Rochelle too. I liked Rochelle and McClendon Curtis, but that was I mean there was some instances where you seen out there. I mean, even video, where you seen out there Rochelle, dominating one-on-ones, in one-on-ones against other offensive linemen and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Maybe they seen just more in John Jenkins. They seen more in, like guys like that. I just think that Matthew Adam Butler, had a big camp too. I think that's one of the reasons why he was able to stay on the team too.
Yeah. Ozzy, you asked a question. It's actually two above that. He asked a question about can players decline the contract. To be honest with you, I've never heard about a player declining, the contract that they were offered off of waivers. I think a lot of these guys really don't care, what team they go to. They just want to make it to the NFL, or stay employed. Because a lot of these guys are on the bubble, and a lot of them have been floating around, so they just want
to make a roster.
Make a roster. It's not like us where, hey, we want to be a Raider and we want to join the Raiders and stuff like that. These people are like, look, I just need a job. It's just like us on the street. Like if we get fired from a job, we'll almost take anything to, because we know unemployment ain't the business, so if we can get a job that's better than unemployment, we taking it. We don't care who it is. We could be flipping fries at McDonald's and we hate McDonald's, but that's just where it's at.
I only like their fries. That's it. I only like their fries, and when they're fresh only. I always ask that shit. I don't give a fuck how rude I don't care how rude I sound when I fucking in the drive-thru. I'm like, and make them fresh, please.
Hey, you know what I used to do just to save, because I try to stay away from salt. Just salt intake in general. I just tell them, no salt, which means
and they have to make them fresh.
And they have to make them fresh because the ones that they traditionally are giving everybody else, they've already salted them things up. So when you say no salt, you're definitely getting, fresh.
Yeah. JT, what do you think? What do you mean by this? So is the part-time experiment over? What do you mean by experiment? Like as experimenting on at center? Or like I don't know, because I thought he was solid last year. You know what I mean? I thought he played good for a rookie. You know what I mean?
I think they saw what they needed to see from him, as in if all hell breaks loose, we could slide him there.
I think that's what he meant. Yeah, that is what he meant.
Yeah, but for continuity, like it's great that when we are looking at the offensive line, we've been saying starting from the center going left, it's already a lock. You know what I'm saying? And you need that continuity on our offensive line. So if we can keep him at left guard, and then in real emergency situations, you know what I'm saying, if we really got to slide him to center, then we'll do it. But yeah, just keep him at left guard.
Ozzy, Van Ryan did make the team.
Yeah.
Statistically, he was better on one side. Significantly. Oh, okay. Who's Parham? Yeah, he was better on the. Was it when he was next to Colton? I'm pretty sure it was when he was next to Colton.
Yeah. Because they did that is true. That is true, JT. It was an experiment because there was a time where he was the right guard, then he moved to center, then he became the left guard, and he hasn't moved from there yet. So I think they found out, like, hey, this is really where he needs to be, but that's good to know if we really need him somewhere else.
I think the center, he was kind of pushed into that. You know what I mean? Because at that time, I think Hornets Grasu was on the injured reserve list at that time.
And then Andre James was
he
out.
was our only, and Andre James was a concussion. Andre James had just gotten a concussion, so he needed to, like, it was like almost forced to play center, you know.
Yeah,
But
I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he played solid though. I mean, for first game in the as a center, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna say, you know, he played great. I mean, I'm not gonna go as far as that, but he played decent. You know what I mean? And as for his first, you know, filling game, he played good. I mean, you could use him as an emergency. That's what, and that's the good thing to know.
Was it him that was snapping the ball hella slow?
Was it?
You remember that one game? I forgot who. I think it was Parham. Like, he was snapping the ball, but the ball was coming out hella slow, where the quarterback was like really trying to, like, by the time the quarterback caught the ball, he was getting killed by the D line, like, because the ball was coming out that slow.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was him.
Yeah, and then he got better.
Late, unless it was Gross who late.
Dang.
When he came back, I'm not too sure though. But let's see. What was the question right here?
But you remember that though?
Yeah, hell yeah, I remember that shit.
Like, dang, this ball's coming out hella slow.
Let's see, when Parham was slower with the snaps. Yeah, Parham was slower with the snaps because it wasn't like, I think it was Parham for sure when that day he did come in. Let's see right here. And I think also though, like so now it's gonna be Van Rotten and Illuminor on the other side.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking that's gonna be the starting guys right there, because it was Bars, right? Bars was supposedly gonna be scheduled to start on that side, and now with keeping Van Rotten, I think that opens up a spot for Van Rotten, man. Hopefully he can be an upgraded version of Bars. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Haran?
I think he's gonna be like an emergency tackle, like a guy if somebody goes down, because I think the guy that you're going to use, you know, I think right away at tackle, you're gonna use Mumford, right? You're gonna most likely, you know, bring him in if a guy goes down. Like, I think if your starting tackle goes down, but I think that's gonna be like your emergency tackle. You know what I mean? Because the things I've seen out of him in preseason, and the stuff that I've seen out of him, you know, when he was with the Patriots, is just, I didn't see too much good out of Heron, man. I think that's why I would have kept Moody, but that's just me. You know what I mean? They play different positions. I think that's the reason why too.
Yeah. I with Haran, I'm like, you know, I just hope he doesn't see the field. Because if we see what we saw in preseason, where Klee gave him the business, and we know Klee ain't no pass rusher to save his life, like,
bullshit.
It might be a problem.
Hey,
it might be a problem.
Hey, you could just put him on a list of players that had success when they left, bro. Arden, he had success when he left. Look, some people just don't fit schemes, bro. Some people just don't fit schemes. Some people, hey, sometimes it take getting cut or released or traded somewhere else, bro, to spark a light in somebody. You know, so, you know.
But I did not expect Klee to do that to Haran like that. But that
I mean, but it was Haran. I mean,
but that's what we talk about. I asked Gabe what his thoughts on Haran, and I was like, dude, I hope he just does not see the field, because if he do what Klee, if Klee if Klee did that to him, then we already know what these other pass rushers is gonna do to him.
Hey, so who do you guys think is gonna start, Meredith or Van Rotten?
I hurt my back. I hurt my back. That's why I'm
thinking Van Rotten, you know, from the jump, but who knows, man? That Meredith made a quite a name for himself, man. He made the 53. You know what I mean? So they must have seen something out of him.
I got Van
Van
starting.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Van Ryan too. Like right now, just because of the, all the words, all of the reports out of camp and stuff like that. He had the bigger camp. He had the more noteworthy camp, I would say. You know what I mean? So I think he has probably the leg up. But Meredith, man, it's good to see that Meredith made a push to make this team. The only thing I think on the offensive line would be Heron. That's the only guy I would probably But then again, too, like I think they were just too short on tackles to keep. But I would have kept McClendon Curtis over Heron.
So you would have added another guard because McClendon Curtis is actually a guard.
Yeah, I know. I think he just played that position better because you have a swing tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have a swing tackle, but I think that's the reason why they did keep Heron because I think just you have to have kind of like a backup because there's two positions, right? There's two tackles, so I think you have to have
Oh my gosh, I'm so slow.
What happened?
Where's Mumford?
Oh, he's there. He's the swing tackle. He's gonna be the guy that
Okay.
is he's gonna be the guy that if any one guy go down, I think they bring him in first. They bring in him first. But
I was like, no way did they get rid of Mumford and Heron is on this team.
Mumford, I mean, Mumford is still. There was like chirps of like him even like maybe even stealing the starting spot from Illuminor at some point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I think he's right behind Illuminor. You know what I mean? That's why I would have him like right behind, just as like that next guy up if any of our tackles go down.
Yeah. Because I think what will happen is if Van went down, you know what I'm saying? I think Illuminor would slide over and he would play right guard. And then Thayer would be the tackle.
That's a great analysis right there, because I think that's exactly what would happen. That's what should happen actually, but I mean,
hey, look, I would play it that way. You know
I would do it from the jump just because I think it would benefit Illuminor more from being in the middle anyway, because he would have help from both sides. You know what I mean? And I think Mumford is not a big drop off either way.
It might help. It might help with his false starts.
Exactly.
He'd be right next to the ball.
A player on your side doesn't help with your false starts. That's a mental thing. You just gotta keep your mind right, bro. You know what I mean? It's the craziest thing. You think about it, bro. You're told the snap count in the huddle. Less than 30 seconds ago, you was told to count.
I'm just trying to help him have all the aids he need. Hey, we going on 2, but look at since you the guard, you can look at the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're the right tackle, you might not be able to see the ball from there, but look, you right next to the ball. You shouldn't be false starting, dog. But yeah, I agree with you. When they say on 2,
if you can't count, go watch Sesame Street, bro. If you can't count, go watch Sesame Street, bro.
I think that's why
every day, bro.
I think that's why playing tackle kind of hurts him though too, because he gets too jumpy, because he gets those fast defensive ends or something like that, and like he tries to jump up the count or something like that. He tries to like anticipate right before 2 or something like that and take off, and it's just he tries to get that extra step in, and he just, I don't know, man. I think it might help him if he goes into the guard, but I mean, who's to say? Like he didn't play as bad as a lot of people think, as far as in blocking. I think it's mostly, his criticism is penalty wise, but he could fix that, I think it's gonna be good either way. Because I think you just have multiple guys behind them that can contribute, like a Meredith, like a Mumford, if you have to bring them in off the bench because they're healthy, you know what I mean, they're fresh. So I think that's gonna help them out either way, like that, bro. Because you seen last year they used even though Mumford wasn't a starter, they still used him as a tight end about half of the damn time. Now reporting number 77, like, God, like, dang, man, again.
Hey,
Now reporting eligible number 77.
Longy Raider, Count Dracula. 1, 2.
Hey, that new Dracula movie is pretty damn cool,
look,
man.
I'd be so mad. I would be so mad at Illuminor if I was in the huddle. I'd be like, look, just get off the line late. I don't need you to be on time getting off the line. just get off the line late.
Hey, did you hear me say too?
We'll figure it out after the snap.
Did you hear me say hut? Did you hear that? No, you didn't hear that? Because I didn't say it, nigga. Shit. Damn.
Yeah, shit, man. So
That
I think
pissed me off, dog.
Hey,
Really?
look, I'd rather take the holding call than the fucking false start, bro.
yeah, but I like our team, though. I like our team, bro. I actually like it. There's maybe a little couple moves that maybe went a different way, but like I said, dog, like I'm not in that locker room every day. I'm not in those meetings every day. I'm not in those, everyday practices. So they might have seen a little bit more in those practices, because they were kind of like splitting hairs on some of those players anyway. So it's like those type of things matter. You know what I mean? The chemistry that you have in the locker room, the amount of time you put into watching film, how early you are in the building, like how much you are in the weight room. Like those things matter after the fact. You know what I mean? So like the being on the field is what we see, but I just think when you're splitting hairs between guys like that and they're close, it's then you kind of got to give it to the coaching staff and on their decision, because like they're the ones that are seeing it more firsthand. You know what I mean? Even though like some of these motherfucking coaches lie to us and to our damn face and fucking thinking.
Hey, old McDonald be lying all the time. Like that's why I kind of want to hear the busting with the boys to see what
I'm gonna watch that shit right now.
What Wolf tickets was he selling over there?
Yeah, McDaniels was on Busting with the Boys like this morning. Well, he did an interview with Busting with the Boys. That's crazy, dog. You never even see a coach do fucking really like interviews like that. You know what I mean? You haven't really seen any coaches on any like podcast, like NFL coaches on any really podcast, have you?
Well, he ain't got much to do anyway. He already, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, he already done. Like,
do you think it's something about like trying to be more familiar with his players, kind of be more like hip to his players type shit, like
it might be
being on podcast type shit.
It could be propaganda because everybody knows I think he already knows what people think about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because obviously they secretly watch YouTube, so they hear all that. So you know what I'm saying? Whatever he can say to kind of help the agenda and make
you can't convince me that they don't,
person.
Bro. You can't convince me that some of them don't. You know what I mean? You can't convince me that a lot of these motherfuckers don't watch this shit. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
They might not watch it religiously, but I'm telling you, they've stumbled across it quite a bit of times. I'm telling you. No, JT, I'm not saying like not absolutely no coaches of that. I'm just saying like you never really see like if you do see them, they're gonna be young coaches like a Raheem Moore. They're gonna be some young coaches like that, or like a guy like that's relatable, like a I don't know how I'm forgetting his fucking name, the fucking coach for the Steelers, but Mike Tomlin. You know what I mean? Like a guy like Mike Tomlin, like guys like that. You know what I mean? You see, but you don't. I don't know. You wouldn't expect a guy like McDaniels for some reason. I don't know why. Like to do that unless like it's his PR telling him that he has to do these type of things or something like that. You know what I mean?
But Tomlin is that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not trying to You know what I'm saying? Like he'll go on to, you know what I'm saying, he did Brandon Marshall's, you know what I'm saying, podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of those dudes, like he relates to the players as much as he's old school, you know what I'm saying, in certain ways with his coaching, he's really in tune with his players, and that's why his players are the way that they
You,
are with him. You know what I'm
you
saying?
really think McDaniels wants to sit down on a Pivot podcast and talk?
No,
Not the
no,
pivot.
I'm not saying he's
That's why
going
he
to the
went.
pivot.
That's why he
But
went to Bussin. That's why he went to Bussin with
yeah,
what's
yeah,
his name, with
he know it
Compton
ain't
and
safe over there at pivot.
yeah, he's not gonna get the same.
He's not sitting down with the Pivot, bro. It'd be nice,
RC
but
RC
shit.
will ask some crazy questions, and then I just don't think he'll get the humor of Channing.
No, what we're saying, JT, is the fact that there are certain coaches that will go and sit down over there, and there are certain coaches that will not. And I
Yeah,
believe that Daniels is one of them coaches that's not gonna sit down on the Pivot. I
unless
mean,
he was like kind of persuaded
I don't know
to, unless he
why.
was kind
The
of
Pivot is a great show. It's a great show. I
yeah.
mean, shit, even McVay is sat down with the Pivot and talked.
But I'll say this too with what you're saying, Dirty, is certain hosts invite certain guests because they have respect for them. You know what I'm saying? Like I I don't know if those guys got the respect for, you know what I'm saying? Like
No, I think the ones that don't have respect for him, and I think he'll never be invited into that part is Brandon Marshall, because Brandon Marshall, the I am athlete shit. Because
yeah,
Brandon Marshall has something personal with McDaniels. Though that's something personal because he traded him and that type of shit. Like you could tell, like the way he talks about him. Like I understand when like people say, oh, he can't coach or something like that, but he's like super adamant about it. You know what I mean? Like to where the point, like if he's that adamant about it, like if he really is the trash that you say he is, he shouldn't even be in the league as an offensive coordinator. But I just think that's more of a personal type issue with him and him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like that because
Yeah.
I think he kind of overblows it because of that situation. I have
Yeah.
heard other players do it too, but they just don't go to that extent.
yeah.
Yeah, nah, I think that's just personal.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
big time.
that's just personal, man. You know, dude was a diva, bro. Dude was a diva. You asking a first year head coach to deal with a diva. He's not going to do it. The best way he did was to ship him out.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
look,
and even with McVay, like McVay is that, you know what I'm saying? He's similar to Tomlin, you know what I'm saying? He has his way, but he's also, you know what I'm saying, very in tune with his players. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's many players that don't like, you know what I'm saying, McVay. You know what I'm saying? Even though McVay is crazy, like you could tell he's like he's almost like Gruden Jr. You know what I'm saying? Like when I like he really that's how I see McVay. Like he's very adamant. He talks loud. He's very, you know what I'm saying, energetic. You know what I'm saying, and but that works for his guys.
I think he could
And
be right. I think JT could be right here. It could be that he's great with the media. Though. Like he could sit down and have some great ass interviews. Like earlier right here in the chat, somebody was saying right there that it was a great ass interview. So like that's why I still need to go see it. To be honest, I still need to go see it. I
but
haven't seen it. So like I still want to go see and what his story is, what he's gonna what he's gonna talk about and shit like that. So it just gives you more insight into a player like that. It kind of gives you more, stuff that you can be, like, oh, okay, just be more understanding of,
I
their
like busting with the boys. I do. I like busting with the boys.
no, I watch it too. I'm just saying I haven't watched this interview. Like I haven't watched McDaniels on this interview. I haven't watched him with
yeah,
the media yet. So like I do want to see him, in the interview. Let's see his actual personality. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe he gives us a glimpse into his actual personality. You know what I mean?
And, and I think everybody on this panel can say that we know that McDaniels knows how to talk. It's not that we don't know McDaniels knows, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we you know, it's not we're not saying that McDaniels does not know how to talk. It's just, you know, it's the image that has been portrayed on him. I think he's trying to combat that, you know what I'm saying, to do some of these non-traditional, you know what I'm saying, formats, you know what I'm saying, so we can get more in depth with him and maybe possibly give him a chance or whatever our perspective is in regards to McDaniels.
Yeah, busting the pivot, and I would say like, let's see what other like sports podcasts like that those are like the main ones. Those are some good ass podcasts. Those are the podcasts that I kind of refer to the most to. You know what I mean? Like, because those are they are dope. I like Busting with the Boys. I like the Pivot. I kind of stopped watching the I Am Athlete so much. You know what I mean? Because it just
I stopped watching I Am Athlete when
yeah,
Shannon and Freddie T left, bro. I'll be honest,
yeah.
I haven't watched the episode since they left. Not
Yeah.
one.
Oh, and the Mesa Cameron fucking that's the other podcast I watch. You know what I mean? It's another sports podcast I watch. Those three podcasts are like the ones I watch the most of sports, other than the
I
Raiders
watch.
content. You know
I watch.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I watch Pivot. I watch Bussin' with the Boys. I watch Cam Newton shit.
I was
I
about
watch
to say.
him. I watch Tyreek Hill shit too.
I
Tyreek
haven't
funny.
got those. Oh,
Yeah,
and the Raw Room. I watched the Raw Room. That one's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah, and
I,
then I watch Drink Champs. I watch Drink Champs. They
Dream
do
Champ is
good
cool. Like, I
interviews,
was talking
bro.
about like sports podcasts, like just sports podcasts mostly. I was
Yeah,
like just be like
sports.
that. Like, I like that new Cameron and Mace one, dog. Like that, it's pretty cool. It's they have did you
Sports
see the
wise,
money
yeah.
that
I
they're
mean,
making? You
the
see the
Shade
money that they're
Room
gonna
with
get?
Shannon Sharp. The Shade Room with Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, Uncle Shay Shay,
you talking about Club Shay
Yeah.
Shay?
Club
Love
Shay
Shay
Shay.
Shay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Club Shay Shay.
No, but
And
like that, what it is? I think it's called What It Is or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's the Mace and Cameron, but they have like a thing, and then they just got signed for I don't know how much million. I think they say it's an 8-figure contract.
Hey,
8 figures.
speaking of Shannon Sharp, did you see that
Monday.
did you see Skip have to add 3 people to equal 1 guy?
And they didn't let him talk.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him fucking talk. He couldn't get a fucking word off.
That's all I could think about when I saw it. I was like, dude, you had to get 3 guys to equal 1 guy.
I haven't watched the show since Shannon left.
30 million they offered. They offered Mace and Cameron 30 million for their show.
That's a nice piece of change.
And they've only been at it for like 9 months.
$100,000 for my show, nigga. I sure could use it.
Hey, they've only been at it for like 9 months. That's the crazy part. That shit blew up.
Hey, sometimes it's all about who you know.
But I think it's easier for those guys because their names are already out there. You know what I'm saying?
So
it's
like and the fact that they had beef together. They had beef before, with each other, and then like people wanted just to see them get together. Period. You know what I mean? Just to see what the fuck it was gonna be when they were in the room together anyway. And then they made a podcast together. So it was like, they played it right though. They played that shit right.
Yeah.
But I think the next week, man, fucking Shannon and Stephen A go at it on Monday. Shannon and Stephen A on ESPN on First Take. Let's see who wins the shouting match. They don't even need microphones.
I think Stephen A is trying to make a major power move, and it might end up being him and Shannon Sharp, and that's going to be a problem. Like that's going to be.
I guarantee you, it's gonna be the highest rated thing watched that day.
Oh, for sure.
I guarantee you,
it's going to be.
It'll be the highest rated. It'll be the highest rated thing watched that day. Period. Nothing else is gonna have higher ratings than that show.
I think Shannon Sharp is really underrated. Like I think people, you know what I'm saying, they miscredit like his media work, like what he did on Undisputed, and then for him to have his own show and still be able, you know what I'm saying, his own stuff and still handle it, and dude, Shannon Sharp, hey, he
Shannon carried that show with Skip.
for real.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna be crazy, man. That's gonna be a crazy show because what's his name? They're also they were gonna add somebody to their basketball part too, like because they're still gonna have JJ Redick on the show. They're still gonna have guys like that. I think it's Sh- 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 Shannon's only gonna be on there. I think Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
Imagine if First Take was Skip, if it was Stephen A, Shannon Sharp, and Ryan Clark. Man, that should be dope, bro.
I like it. I
That
like
shit
that
would be
shit.
dope.
That we just with Stephen A and him next week, and then like the little guys that they add, like a Swagoo and shit like that, or those guys
I
that
like swag.
it's gonna add to it. It's gonna
I like
add to it.
swag.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah. You know who I miss though?
Kendrick Perkins.
I,
When the basketball
Oh, you
season,
got to
Kendrick
keep
Perkins is
Molly
gonna be
though. You
crazy
got to
too.
keep Molly. You got to keep Molly. Can't let Molly
Fucking,
go.
hey, look at fucking JT. He will say some shit like this. Fucking shit. No, they're the ones that are playing the damn sport. They should want to be out up there. There's never too many, man. It's just it's chilling. That's what they know about sports. You know what I mean? I want to hear people who know about sports. If Skip knew that much about sports, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let him stay on there. I'm just worried about. I want to see a good show, a good argument, a good debate. You know what I mean? And make me laugh in the process too. Because when it's humorous too, that shit's fucking funny, and it's fucking they're making points. That's when it was at its best.
Bro, hang out, bro.
I loved it when Kerry
Hang out.
Champion was there, man.
Yeah.
When Kerry
I miss.
Champion was there, it was,
Yeah. I mean, they try to cancel her for whatever reason. I liked when I liked the show that they had, and this ain't football, but I liked the show that they had with Rachel Nichols and the guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
get up.
with the Get Up show or whatever. Like I
Yeah.
thought that was good.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy for them talking about football though. And when they talk about football, let's see what Stephen A has to say now though, because he's gonna be talking about somebody who knows football. You know what I mean, inside and out, bro. So he's gonna be talking about like it's gonna be crazy. And then when when they talk about basketball, you know what I mean. Stephen A thinks he knows everything about basketball. That's gonna be some crazy ass talks too because Shannon knows his shit too in basketball.
Yeah. Shannon studies, and you can tell, like even when he was with Undisputed, you could tell when he was when he actually had the floor. You know what I'm saying? When he had the opportunity to say his stuff, you know what I'm saying? He had some studied facts there. You know what I'm saying? And on sports that he didn't play. You know what I'm saying? But he knew he had the facts to back whatever his statement was, which was, and I think that's the recipe that he has that's been carrying him, because even his intros that he uses for Club Shay Shay, like whatever guest that he usually has like a long intro of their accomplishments and everything. You could tell he studied it and everything. So that, yeah, he's definitely put the work in.
Yeah, for sure. Shannon beat the brakes off of Joy Taylor. Oh, that's fucked up. Joy,
don't talk about Joy Taylor.
Joy.
You know what I'm
I like
saying?
Joy better. I like Joy.
Joy, she
It's
can
cool.
get it. She can get it. I remember when she was on what was it, Cowherd?
Oh yeah,
She was on Cowherd's show. She was like the little, side host or whatever. Yeah.
she's on the show with
Is it Speak
what's
for
his
Yourself or
name?
something like that?
Man, what's that fool's name though? I don't like that dude, man. The dude that has that, he's fucking all over, like He loves Mahomes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Nick Wright, that fucking guy. I hate that dude. Same. What up, Same?
What's
Long
good,
time
man?
no see, man.
Yeah.
¿Cómo estás? Aquí estamos, man. Chilling. Absolute bombshell. Joy Taylor's an absolute bombshell. Yeah, what
Hey,
is it?
she's fine.
But
Hey,
hey,
Justin, what's good?
Saints world. So what do you guys
Party
what do you guys think?
time. Excellent.
Final like thoughts of what do you guys think about this 53, man? Now that we can actually, because earlier we were kind of like, putting like a grade on it, like with this defense and with that like earlier I was kind of like, because I wasn't sure of who we were gonna still keep, with that move that they had made, and then the trade. But now looking at it as a whole, I think if you could find a way to fucking to add like a marginal linebacker, dog, I think at best, I think you can your defense goes up to like a 7, right? Because earlier we were saying like I would say like I said like a 6 point something, whatever. I would say like a 7, right? But I think the offense is what kind of evens it out to kind of being, a better end team, one of those better like upper echelon teams with, because if we were grading, you know what I mean? You got a 70, and I would say, our offense was, I'm not gonna even go as high as I said earlier. I said 9. I'll say 8.5, right? If you average them out, it's almost like a B minus average. You know what I mean? So it's like that's still a good. I think it's still a good balance. You know what I mean? I just think that it's the defense. The defense is going to improve this year, though. For me, you know what I mean? I don't know about anybody else. Anybody else, of course, can, what I mean, have their thoughts or whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like they might have seen these guys maybe a little bit more, or just don't believe in them. But for me, I believe that this defense will be better for sure than last year, because I think the only way is up. And then I think that with being in the second year, you know what I mean, most of these guys a lot of these guys in their second year, and Max, finally getting some help. I think that, I think the defense will improve, though. The defense will improve, and that's my only real like worry about this team.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what I would say, bro.
I feel like and I agree with you, but it's on a different level. I feel like if we're on, you know what I'm saying, if last year we were literally on the floor, we got no option but to go up. But the question is, how far are we going up? You know what I'm saying? And I think there's still some moves that they need to make to solidify, you know what I'm saying, a more prominent role of that defense going up. I think we still need to address some things in the corner room, you know what I'm saying, on top of, you know what I'm saying, the linebacker situation. I'm fine with the offense. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with Haran being the last of the last that comes off the, you know what I'm saying, off the offensive line. And if Illuminor can get right, we will be all right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really concerned about this defense and the depth behind the starters. And I keep preaching that because, it's one of those things where if we want this team to be a playoff team, if we want this team to be a Super Bowl team, you have to have those pieces. You have to have a very solid depth behind your starters. So I hope Ziegler is not done. You know what I'm saying? I hope he ain't, on the, in his pool drinking some lemonade right now. I want him to be on his phone with the laptop right in front of his face.
2 phones like this.
Yeah.
Hello?
He needs.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hello?
Kevin Gates. He need 2 phones. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, because it's that time for us to get off the floor with our defense.
For sure, bro. I like that.
He has 10 lines at his office. There's somebody to answer every single one of them. So people
For
can
sure.
wait. They can sit on hold for a minute. It's not a big deal.
They're like in a
Right?
war room. They're like in a mini war room right now, dog.
Yeah. And they probably are. I guarantee you they're not at home. The day's not over for them. They're now looking at all the players that were waived and released, and they're talking about what can we get? Should we put a waiver in the morning for this guy? They got to have all them ducks in a row. Remember, the East Coast starts before the West Coast, right? That's why it was 4 o'clock West Coast time. I mean East Coast time, which is 1 o'clock for us. They're already 3 hours ahead, so Raiders got to get all their work done tonight and have their papers ready to go first thing in the morning when the strike of business opens on the East Coast, which is 3 hours before motherfuckers wake up over here, right? So they're doing all of that right now. Me, I'm gonna give this team as it stands right now. Just looking at it, I'm gonna go with the average grade of uh, a B. I'll go with a B right now. I got offense on with an A minus. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. I got the offense with an A minus. I'm looking at the weapons. I'm looking at what they kept on the line. I got A minus on the offense. I mean, you're talking Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Hunter, Jacoby Myers, Jimmy G. You know what I mean? Mayer at tight end. I mean, you got a plethora of weapons. You're
Josh
good.
Jacobs
Right? So it's back. Right? You got weapons on offense. There's no reason for you not to be able to produce. The defense side of the ball was always the concern. I'm looking at the defense. See, everybody's, oh, we kept this guy. We kept this guy. Fuck who we kept. Especially when we talking about backups. Your starters this year are leaps and bounds better than your starters from last year. That instantly upgrades your defense. And I'm talking at all positions. Robert Spillane is an upgrade. Did I want to keep Denzel Perryman? Of course I did. Who didn't? But I like Spillane. I watched Spillane play. I like what I saw. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. That's why I gave That's why I gave this defense like a B minus. You know what I mean? And then you averaged A minus with the B minus, then you get a B. There you go. Have some faith in the squad, bro. I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with me, but hey, that's just my opinion. I'm into it until you put it on.
How did the teacher say at the beginning of the year, though? Y'all got an A. Now it's up to you to keep it. let's go, man. Let's fucking go, man. That's how it gotta be, man. We all got an A until they start fucking up, and then we can downgrade them. But right now, but I'm not gonna say A, but I would agree with Dirty dog B for sure. Like I say, I'm really impressed with our offense. I think our offense is going to be one of the better offenses in the league. So I do have them as an A, and then I have the a solid A, and then I have the defense like as a maybe higher up C plus C. So I have them like averaging out as at a B team. And then wait, we're only averaging out those two. And then if you add in special teams, I think we're A plus. So that pushes it to the B for sure. I think that as a whole team,
B plus right there. That's a B
you know what I mean?
A minus back into the A minus B plus round.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would say, a solid, overall team with everything, coaching, everything. I would say we're a solid like B minus stuff, and I want to be more optimistic. I just don't want like everybody to start talking shit up because everybody seems like they throw a fit. If I say that they're A plus, so I'll say B minus, but I still think that's a great team. That's going to be a good team and a great foundation. Let's see, Twan. We probably won't have that depth we really want till next offseason because of cap space and needing another draft. I believe that for sure. That's true.
Is
Because
low
next year
going
we
at,
have
is low going at 2.5 hours?
what happened?
Is low going on at 9?
Oh yeah, I had to fucking because I'm on that show too. Shit. I'm a part of that show too. I have to be on that show too. So, like, I'm gonna go get something to eat. But for sure. Any last thoughts, guys? You guys have any last thoughts?
Uh,
Twan,
hey,
nothing.
it's not
Waiting for
done.
you
My
to
final
yeah.
thought: roster's not done. There will be some moves made. You know what I mean? Before Friday, you can almost guarantee that. Just be patient. Just wait. Anybody thinking this is an A+ team, please slow down. You know, relax, pump your brakes a little bit. At best, a B+. At best, a B+ is where they stand right now. Like I said, let them make their moves, let them work all their kinks out, all of that. Um, you know, find some upgrades in some spots for depth. Not I mean, I don't think you're gonna find any starting upgrades, but you'll definitely find some depth piece upgrades. You know, you might even find a starter out there. Who knows? You
Yeah.
know, if Patrick Queen actually gets waived or released or whatever or traded, hey, he could start here. That's a strong possibility he could start here. So, you know, hey, look, just relax. I'm more interested in the depth pieces being upgraded, you know.
Yeah.
Especially like a long junior, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry. The dude can't
Yeah.
tackle. You know what I mean? The guy can't tackle, bro.
I
He
agree.
needs to work on that. So yeah, get rid of him. I might improve the grade.
I like that. I like the that though. If
And
you can do that,
and I
that's
sound
good.
and I
Go ahead.
sound, you know what I'm saying? I know I've been coming off like sounding like I'm negative, but it's not that I'm negative towards the top of our roster. I'm talking about the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that's where playoffs and Super Bowls are really created, you know what I'm saying, from the, you know what I'm saying, you're as strong as your weakest link. So I'm looking at the weakest links and saying if they are on the roster, we got some issues. But yeah, I'm just as optimistic as these guys. I do see us as a team improving, but I also am looking at this depth and saying it got to be better.
Yeah, you always want to kind of be like cautiously optimistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Cautiously optimistic. That's good though. That's good to see because I mean, this team has we've had that history of we kind of underwhelmed. So it's good to be cautiously optimistic. That's great to what I mean. But just I don't get the total you know, just total like negative. That's the
yeah,
one. I don't get. But like, if you're cautiously optimistic, I mean, I shit. I'm kind of like almost on the same boat. I mean, I would say maybe on the little bit more optimistic side, but
mm,
uh, hey, it's just it's football, bro. Like there's always that chance. You know what I mean? There's teams that come out of nowhere every year. You know what I mean? It's teams that come from last to first, first to last. You know what I mean? So I think there's always that, like they say, bro, any given Sunday. And I think the Raiders this year are going to show like that, we're getting built right, bro. We're getting built right. And I think that we're gonna uh we're gonna be battling for a playoff spot at the end, bro. Those are my kind of my thoughts of this year. But I really do believe we'll be battling for a spot in the end, bro, to get into the postseason.
yeah.
Well, on that, man, Dirty, you going live anytime soon, or if not, you just let them know what channel, bro. Like, and when can they find you?
I might be in at 11. I know my brother don't really like to go past 2 hours. I might come in after Low finishes up. I might be in
Okay.
later tonight to take a deeper dive into this 53. Maybe we'll get an actual posting of the 53 versus what they just released. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still waiting to see an actual posting of the
Well, the
53.
one that I posted, it's from their page. It's just that it's so small you can barely see it and shit.
Yeah, I'm waiting for an actual posting that I can read. You
No,
know,
yeah, bro.
something I can read and share, and then also I'm waiting to get home too. You know, what I
sure.
mean, that's the other thing. I can't do a whole lot from my phone.
Yeah, it's not the same because you can't really interact with the chat like you want and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah,
like it's not the
exactly.
same. So you know what I mean. So yeah, I got you though. But yeah, life of the nation, man. You guys better be there. If you guys see that, a notification come up, shit, go over there. Shit, I'm most likely will probably be there too. So because this shit's it's football season is here, dog. It's upon us, like less than 10 days away. It's here. It ain't going nowhere for a good fucking 5 6 months. So we gonna be around this YouTube thing for in you guys' faces for a good amount of time for the next couple months, bro. So hope you guys fucking tune in all the time. And Twan, where do you plan on going live anytime soon, or just let them know where they can find you, man?
Yeah, so everybody, what I'm saying, thanks for Gabe for having me, first of all.
Sure, man. Sure.
But yeah, you guys, those that know me, but I'm out now on YouTube. I'm actually a content creator for the Raiders. So definitely reach out to me on my channel, Raider Twan. Please subscribe, click the notification bell, because I do go live at random. And I also do a lot of partnerships with other content creators. So you also still will see me, with all my brothers here. And then if you want me to definitely be on your guys' channel, if you're in the chat, hit me up on IG at Twan TWUAN. I'm always down to talk football and everything else. And then also same thing with my IG. If you need prayer for you or your family members, hit me up on IG, and then I'll send you a prayer and everything for whatever it is that you need prayer for. Definitely hit me up on IG.
Show, man. And hell yeah, man. And with that, nation, the smokeout hour has came to a close, but it's a little bit more than an hour. It's 2 hours, but hey, man, this is the 53 day, man. This is our official, roster day, man. So you kind of have to you gotta see a lot of us today. So just stay tuned. There's gonna be some more shows later on. Lowe's coming up next. And on that note, man, y'all stay up and let's go, man. Raiders.
First.
Let's go.